big record artists of 2014, and I'm sure will agree that it was great to have someone like Daisy come out in 2014 just to be great. Some great singles coming up. Looking forward to hearing what she has next year. A lot of great music. When we come back though, in just a bit, Twandix has his top 5. Those who are not the top 5, yeah. So we're playing a bit of those. But on the show, I have Paul and Eddie. Yeah. I have Paul and Eddie on the show. And they're going to be doing, some spoken word. This is a thing that me is for. I talk for a living, but I can't do what these guys do. So I'm just going to get out of the way, and these guys do the spoken word. I'll be coming back and talk to them in just a bit. Don't go anywhere. We still have modes coming. Twandix's top 5, some great spoken word interview with these guys, and lots more here on NTV GXP. Of course, thank you for everyone who has sent a comment on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, Dankes, Lena, Daniel Adina on Facebook, Sumba Juliet joining us right there. Ian Atuhaire joining us. Thank you very, very much. Progiu G is checked in. Thank you. We'll be reading your comments in just a bit. You can also get in touch with us on Facebook. That's NTV GXP on Facebook. But now here is Eternity Ambassadors doing some spoken word.
It's 2015. We're getting into a bright new year. So this is spoken word for you, and we are representing. At the end of my day, while I'm seated in this rocking chair, my crazy feeling of nostalgia drives me into listening to this Ugandan songbird as she sings her heart out and tenderly strums my pain with her fingers. She speaks to my soul deeply, deep like the creators that surround the Earth's equator, deep like the foundation of skyscrapers. And I start my own hands, I'm reminded that He will bless the works of my hands. And I'm reminded about the resolutions made during the calm and somber atmosphere of January, when my mind was free from the stress and disappointment of last year. Had I but plenty of money enough to spare. My wishful thinking. And I made a glimpse into the sky with a quiet concentration of my eye, surrounded by the mammoth crowd of the stars, and the night, all a settlement of a silent warm breeze. And this sudden feeling of loneliness clutches me to my now worn out old chair, my only refuge in this wicked and dreadful world, as I think about a year soon coming to its close. So as I raise this bottle in my trembling hands, its soft cold kiss on my lips awakens me to the days gone by, the days when we were enumerated. What a special feeling it was, proud to be Ugandan. And just like the icing on the cake, I received my card of identification. I realized that I was a treasure in a jar of clay, an asset to this country, and never a liability, a citizen by birth, by descent, ready to reflect and project way beyond the distant horizons. The distant melodies of celebration remind me that soon it will be New Year's Eve, and this moment of reminiscence takes me way back to the days when we laughed, when we loved, when we shed a tear and embraced togetherness. It was this year that my city held its annual festival. The perfection of its beauty hidden in its pain, in its gilded monuments. New markets, gigantic pathways, you can call them roads. No wonder it's dustless in most places, no potholes. There's always something to take the eye for each and every time you look into the city. And then this sudden smile on my lips as the beautiful song bell now plays acoustic and switches to a more joyous melody. The New Year bells are wrangling with beauty as barrages of applause are heard from an ever-increasing melodious crowd. You can see the joy that goes deep down within their hearts. And then the random hands and the sudden unready eyes of men expecting yet another son to do the shapely things they had not done. These sudden ends of time must give us a pause into time as we fray into the future, accompanied by the smiles of the thresholds of the year to come, whispering, it will be happier. And this beauty of the guitar queen infected and affected the euphoria of the crowd as they said, last year's words belong to last year's language. So I'll raise my hands in full surrender to God, my Redeemer, and like the strings of broken lyres, I will burst out into a praise. And I think about this year gone by. And I will say, what's the reason for the new year? Is there a reason for any celebration? And I will say, yeah, we should burst out into a song of praise, into ululations and celebrations, for the sorrows lasted for a night, but the joy came in the morning. We who were once dead are now a living sacrifice, so we tread on with boldness and giving out grace like an ocean. We are which is a royal priesthood, we are the risen deity, we are a chosen generation, and like an aviary of old, we shall stray into the night and raise up a banner, and we shall say, 2015, we are coming through. 2015, David, Projects, NTV, GXP. This year is my year. Hope it's your year.
Okay, you guys, like this is how the last show of the year should be.
Definitely.
You guys did an amazing job. It's on you were here this year or last year?
Here
early this year.
Early this year. We're here.
How was it from the time we saw you? I think it was somewhere around Easter.
Yeah, I think it was around Easter.
Around Easter, and then you're back for what have you been up to?
Basically, I think it's ministry, inside out ministry, and putting on some weight a little bit.
Okay,
it's good. That's
all.
Ministry.
This and I just like to ask you. So tell me a bit about Genesis. Do you write your material together, or you write and you just says, "Oh, this guy wrote." That's what I do. Yeah.
Okay, what we did last time was a rendition of what was done. It was religion versus Jesus.
Yeah.
So when they called us this time, they're like, do something for the new year, getting into the new year. So
also, you wrote this specifically for this show.
This one is copyright
for this show. All right. How did you come up? How do you write this? Do you write together, or you write and then send in that this guy is like the actor? And then you give him a script and he says,
he's
you know
the
what?
most stressful guy when it comes to writing.
So you write together? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we write together, but since he does the actions, he's always making sure that, you know what, you get, come up with good stuff, the analogies, the similes.
So what was the inspiration behind this particular
inspiration? The year is coming to an end, and there are things that...
Because I had a lot of things, you could have just said, resolutions, they died, like I had a lot of...
Basically,
I had a lot of things,
he's doing the actions, so we're talking about... a particular Ugandan, a familiar kind of guy who's just seated down, he's sipping on a cold, any kind of drink, and then he's thinking about the year gone by. He's a middle class kind of guy, so he's saying, you know how the year comes to an end, and you're like, hey, and you're thinking, what have I done? There's nothing I've done, and the year has come to an end. But then we get into the new year while we are celebrating. We are happy because 2015 is our year.
Okay, this guy never talks, so I'm going to ask him a question. Do you actually talk? Okay. But I'll talk to you a bit later. Let me just ask you, you've been talking about 2014, and spoken word being an art form that's not really...
Yeah,
it's very young.
In Uganda, it's a very young art.
And we're trying to sort of wrap our hands around it because people don't know that it's rap music, which also is people say like, hey, rap in the church. Hey. But now you're bringing spoken word and people wearing things. Pastors be like, that guy is the devil. Things like that. So how has your ministry, like spoken word, what's the impact of your ministry?
The good thing about spoken word, the way an artist goes out and sings, the way a rapper comes through, I would kind of compare spoken word to rap, because the good thing with spoken word, it's not like, let me say, dancing. Because right here, we are speaking to somebody. Anybody can understand spoken word, be it a teenager, be it an old person. It's me.
Has this been accepted though?
It has been accepted. I think in most platforms. In most platforms, it has been accepted. We haven't gone to any place and they said, no, you guys, we don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, but there's you being allowed to do your art form, and then there's people just saying, you guys are good, but we didn't understand what you said.
I think we haven't seen that really, because most places we've gone to, you get to a point and even the applause is too much and you think, okay, let me just pause it a little bit so that guys get the next line that I'm going to be saying. So I think it has been well accepted into the church, and it's one thing that we want to develop into the church because it speaks out, period, right on the spot.
All right. Well, we have 10 members, so thank you very much for coming through. We appreciate it very much. I hope you learned something about, the new year. Yeah. The new year, I hope you learned something about the new year. But we promise you we'll be having the top 5. The top 5, yes, that's the word. Top 5, the Tojex is just right behind me. He's going to bring you his top 5. Allegedly, he's the music guru on the show. I keep saying that. So here are the top 5 songs for 2014. I'll be coming back and talking about them in just a bit. Also, More Roots and Roy Kasika and Mutabingwa, aka Soul Deep, will be coming back onto the show to do us one song, maybe one. Yeah. I'm looking at them to the corner of my eye because I'm trying to blackmail them to do another one. Yeah, but you're watching NTV GXP. Here are the top 5 songs of 2014.
You, Ghanaian ambassador, the new spokesman for